Hey guys, welcome back. Troy and I today are talking about something we normally don't talk about. But before we get to that, I got to tell you something, Troy. This is the best vodka I've ever had.
Hammer vodka, clean, gluten free, no sugars, smooth.
100% organic.
It is damn good. Yeah, I was out this weekend doing some bar hopping in Newport with both my daughters, and we came across three bars that had Hammer vodka, and I was pleased about all three. Thank you very much.
Nice. Thank you, Newport Beach. Guys, we don't really ever talk politics. And I think it's important too, though, this time. And listen, get out, vote, do what you got to do. I'm not here to sway you one way or the other. I'm just giving you my opinion and what I think is going on.
Which is a heavy sway. Just kidding.
Yes, very heavy. I know for a fact my companies and myself personally were better off 4 years ago. How about you, Troy?
Well, as I look at it, the Republican ticket seems to do better business-wise. It's with my business as well, which is a real estate broker. So yeah, it's been better for me under Republican leadership. We've got one that's pretty contentious right now. I mean, we've got a pretty equal pre-election feeling amongst the United States. And we got the typical, right? You got the Democratic West Coast and East Coast, like we almost always have. Right down the Rust Belt, we've got Republican, but there's a lot of swing states this year.
Yeah. Well, the big one's Pennsylvania.
It is. Michigan's sitting out there.
Yeah.
Nevada's sitting out there still. New Mexico.
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah.
That was won by what,
300 votes?
Yeah.
3,000 votes, something like that.
3,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not much.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is, listen, we've got, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but we got all these wars going on. We've got open borders. The hurricane has been just absolutely devastating to those people.
Hurricanes. Yeah.
And this one that's happening now, Milton, is supposed to be the king of all kings.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, Helene, right, was just before that,
right.
Which came up through the Gulf and hit Florida right in that little crook of the northern by the Panhandle there, and it went right up and went right through Georgia and the Carolinas and flooding, and a lot of people died from that. There's over 200 people, right?
Yep.
Died.
Well, and still climbing. They're saying there's 300 to 400 people missing.
Missing, which in my book, sorry, but
yeah,
add that to the dead list.
That's probably stamped.
Yeah.
The thing that concerns me about this whole thing, it's like all those poor people up there that go through this hurricane, they're giving them $750. That's not enough to do anything, but they'll spend all this money on migrants.
Yeah, no, they're saying $750. That's all FEMA has right now. But I listened to a FEMA guy yesterday, and he says that's not all we have. We've got more backed up. But these are multi-billion-dollar disasters.
Billion.
You got to find the money somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead of sending the money over to Hezbollah and all the freaking idiots over there, I mean, keep our tax money in America. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, let's segue into that, right? So we're talking about helping Israel defend themselves.
Right.
And we're sending a whole lot of money and armament to Israel.
Sure.
Should we be doing that?
I don't know if they need it, to be honest. Israel is a very wealthy state, and, you know, we are having such a hard time. Groceries I was looking at how much eggs have gone up, in the last few years. It's crazy. I mean, a lot of the stuff has gone up 300%. When you go shopping, a family, that's lower income, I mean, they've got to be struggling with these gas prices and all these groceries and just electricity itself. And fuel.
I was traveling back in the Midwest a few weeks back, and I had a rental car, right? And I filled the car up, and I'm like, this can't be right. It was only like $50. The gas back in Michigan was $2.85 a gallon. I'm like, so why in the hell are we Californians paying $6, $5.58, $5.80 a gallon?
Gavin Newsom.
There you go. Governor Hair Gel. Love you, brother.
Yeah. Thanks for those high gas prices, Gavin.
And everything else he's doing. I mean, he can't manage a budget to save his life.
Well, what's the bill he just passed where you do not have to have an ID to go vote? How is that even constitutional?
It doesn't make sense at all. and there's that the term with that is what, illegal aliens, right?
Hmm.
And it's not a dirty word. It's
No.
it's what it is.
It's factual.
And so if the word illegal it comes along with that, then there's something wrong there. That why do you give them a right to vote when they are here illegally? Makes no sense whatsoever to me.
Well, it does make sense, though. You know what they're trying to do.
They're trying to boost the vote.
They're trying to steal the election.
But again, we don't talk about politics here. Now, we don't do that a lot because it is such a lightning rod.
Yeah.
And our country has been so divided for at least 4 years, and actually more than that.
More than that.
Where it's so black and white, well, no, red and blue, that I don't get that. I never used to vote party lines. I'd vote for who I thought was going to do the best job. job. But nowadays, I'm starting to say, Democrats, Republicans are so polarized. Where's that across the aisle?
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist anymore, and that's a really sad commentary.
Very sad. And moreover, you look at this and everything that they had said Donald Trump was doing and everything, turns out they're doing it. It's and I'm not to say either party is angels, because they're all a bunch of liars, and we all know that. And it's interesting, like Pelosi, her husband's she's trades stock better than anybody else on the planet. How do you know all this stuff, and how do you do all this insider trading? We need to change it up, and you Gen X people out there, you need to get in and vote and get these people out. They don't need to be in office 50 frickin' years. I mean, it should be like the president. Maybe you can have 2 terms, 8 years.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, Hammer. It's like when you do go and vote, X, Y, Z, whatever all these generations are.
Right.
I think a lot of times they will typically just follow whatever a news blurb says or a social media blurb says, or
they're not getting
Trump
into
is
it.
such an idiot, there's no way. Instead of doing all that, or I wouldn't vote for a woman, whatever it is, right?
Right.
Look at what you do for a living. Look at where you go to school. Maybe you're going to college. How's that going to affect? How is it going to affect you as an individual on who's in office? That's the way you need to vote.
Absolutely. And this whole thing, and I hate to tell you guys that are in college right now, and gals, it'll always come back and bite you if you think they're going to pay for your college.
Yeah.
It will always come back.
I was thinking, can I do that retroactively?
Yeah,
I sure would like that to pay for my kids' education.
Exactly.
And that's going back and forth, right? Oh, we'll pay for it. We're not going to pay for it. We'll pay for it. We're not going to pay for it. It's like, you're right. So don't count on it.
Don't count on it. I don't think it's happening.
And don't vote for somebody because they're going to say they'll pay for your college education, which I think is your point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To conclude this, guys, I'm going to say, just get out and vote and do what's in your heart and what's right for you, and drink a lot of Hammer vodka.
Let's get hammered.
Catch you next time.